Morning Date. You're joining us for another edition of Morning Date, and joining us in the studio today is an artist when it comes to European baked goods. He's a master at what he does, and when the doors to his German eateries open, you better get a seat quick because they fill up fast. 독일에서 온 서울의 제빵 왕입니다. 미샤 리히터 씨를 만나보도록 하겠습니다. Misha, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Sue. It's a pleasure being here. Thanks
Yeah. Would you like to sit a little bit closer to the mic so that our listeners can listen to your lovely voice? Could you introduce yourself to our listeners, please?
Yeah, my name is Michael Richter. I'm from Germany. I've been in Korea for a while. And I'm running the baker's table in Itaewon-gyeongnidan.
How many years have you been in Korea now?
I've been about 20 years over here.
20 years. Lovely. Well, of course, you have many different titles. Meister, Master Baker, Pâtissier, Chef. Is there one that you like the most?
Micha?
Your name.
Yeah.
제일 좋아하는 타이틀은 그냥 이름. Misha. Is it Misha? Micha.
Micha is a short version of Michael,
미카엘의 줄임말이 미샤예요.
which is
I
the
see.
German pronunciation of Michael. So
Very, very interesting. 알겠습니다. My German is terrible, so please do excuse me before I butcher your name a few times. But nonetheless, it is great to have you with us, Misha, today. Now, you're a third-generation baker. Your father and your grandfather, all bakers.
all bakers.
Yeah, tell us
both,
about that.
Both had a business in Germany. My grandfather started that. Eventually, my father took over.
Yeah. So did you know when you were a child, do you think, oh, I'm going to be a baker, just like my father and my grandfather?
That's what they told me. Yeah.
And you were
But
happy with that?
I never knew it.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I slipped into this. So.
But it
by
has
the
become
time
your
it
life's
was
passion.
time to start that.
Yeah.
I just did that, and it was okay.
Tell me about some memories you have of your father and your grandfather and what it's like to be in a family of bakers.
A lot of work. So
And not much sleep, maybe?
not much sleep. Of course, they always get up early. I remember my father also worked 6.5 days a week.
6.5 days.
Yeah,
That's
so that
almost
half day
every
off,
day.
almost every day. Yeah, a
제가
lot of
아까
work.
이제 사실은 인터뷰 하기 전에 베이커들은 보통 아침에 굉장히 일찍 일어나지 않아요? 라고 물어봤더니 요즘은 그렇게까지 많이 일찍 일어나진 않는다. 한 아침에 5시 정도에 출근한다. 이렇게 얘기를 하시는 거예요. 그래서 그게 일찍이 아니에요? 그랬더니 보통 정말 바쁘게 일할 때는 베이커들이 밤 12시부터 그날 아침 빵을 만들기 시작한다고 설명을 해주셨습니다. You explained earlier on, while we were talking to each other before, that sometimes bakers start working from midnight
Yeah, right.
to make the bread for the morning. That is amazing.
My father usually
Your father did
started
that?
around 2:00 in the morning. Yeah.
Wow. So you just grew up with that. You thought that was natural. And
Yeah, basically.
그래서 어렸을 때 아버지도 보통 한 새벽 2시 정도부터 빵 만드는 모습을 그냥 일상처럼 보고 자라셨다고 합니다. But I mean, for most people who are not bakers like myself, that is incredible. I mean, when do you sleep? And then, like, how does your day go from then
Yeah,
on?
for bakers it's a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Like if they start really early in the morning or in the night, they start to sleep from maybe 8 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
I see. Wow.
But your system gets a little bit topsy-turvy then. Everything changes. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
whole routine. Maybe
Topsy-turvy.
it's something you get used to. If you don't have to change in your schedule, you always have your routine. Maybe that's something you get used to. But it is like when your friends have time, you don't have
you
time.
don't have
so
time.
that's
그렇군요. 할아버지도 또 아버지도 베이커셨기 때문에 집안만 놓고 봤을 때는 뭐 새벽 2시부터 일하고 이러는 게 하나도 이상하지 않았지만 친구들과 좀 놀려고 하면은 이 밤낮이 좀 바뀌어서 힘들었다 이런 얘기를 해주셨습니다. Did you learn to bake from your father and your grandfather?
Well, of course, I ran
Yeah.
around in the bakery when I was a kid, and they gave me a little hand mixer and
Yeah.
a bowl with egg white.
Wow.
So you
Was
could
that
whip-
like your
you could whip up-
childhood toy? Maybe.
Yeah, basically the first thing I did in the bakery, maybe whip up some egg whites.
Yeah?
And,
And what was the first thing you tried to bake after you whipped the egg whites?
Yeah, maybe some simple cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like a sponge cake.
Do you
to
know
make
how
from the
old
eggs.
you were when you baked your first cake? Do you remember? at
Maybe
all?
7 or 8 years old.
Wow. 한
With
7살
assistance, with assistance, you know.
with an assistant. Okay. 아하. 도움을 받기는 했지만 한 7살 때 처음으로 케이크를 만들었다. 이런 얘기를 해주셨습니다. 어렸을 때도 장난감으로 그 계란 위스킹 하는 계란 푸는 기계 그런 걸 가지고 놀았다. 이런 얘기를 해주셨어요. But of course, now it is your career. It's your life. It's not just a hobby or something you watch other people do. Why? What brought you to Korea, first of all? That's what I'm very curious to know.
Well, I came to Korea with a big hotel chain I used to work for.
Uh-huh.
I used to be the chef pâtissier,
I see.
which is, after Micha, the next title I would prefer. You
Yeah.
know?
Yes. Pâtissier.
Yeah, that was always actually my dream to work in a hotel.
Yeah.
And the work was there was a lot of variety. We make cakes, we make bread, we make ice cream and chocolate, so that involved a lot of things to do. And I had a job in Hong Kong, and my contract was finished, and they offered me a job in Seoul. So that's initially how I got here first.
아, 그랬군요. 서울에 어떻게 오셨는지 한번 여쭸더니 그 당시에 일했던 호텔, 그러니까 호텔 파티시에로 일을 하고 있었는데 거기서 한국으로 보냈기 때문에 이렇게 오게 되셨다. 홍콩에서도 근무를 하셨다는 얘기를 하셨습니다. 그래서 뭔가 미샤라는 이름 다음으로 제일 좋아하는 타이틀이 파티시에다 하는 설명까지 해주셨어요. Well, you are a bit of a journeyman. I suppose you've traveled, different places, as you said, Hong Kong and Korea, quite far away from your homeland of Germany.
Experience to learn more stuff to eventually do your master, which I did. Yeah. So that's why it takes you. You should have 5 years experience as a journeyman
Right.
before you can enter the school to make your master exams.
I see. And then you become a master.
Yes,
I
if
see.
you succeed in your
Yeah.
tests in school, you're going to become a master, and that's you need a master to open a business in Germany.
Oh,
If
any
you-
business?
For that kind of thing, for
Okay.
my job,
I see.
you need this.
아하, 그렇군요. 이렇게 제빵계에서는 그러니까 마스터가 되기 위해서는 그 전에 일종의 apprenticeship이라고도 할 수 있겠죠. 훈련 과정이 필요한데 한 5년 정도 동안 일을 하면서 또 학교도 다니고 교육도 받고 이런 게 필요한데 그 과정 동안에 journeyman이라는 타이틀을 갖게 된다고 합니다. So how was your experience with being a journeyman? How long did it take for you?
It took me also
5 years?
maybe about 5 years, maybe
About
a little bit longer. Yeah.
A little bit longer.
Yeah,
Okay.
so after my apprenticeship, I went to England to work in London in a big restaurant. From there, I went back to Germany for a little stint, and then after that, I went to the States, a place near New York City.
So you didn't start your business in England initially, or you
No,
did?
no.
You didn't.
That was just my journey, my journeyman time.
I
So-
see, I see. 아하. 그래서 이제 마스터라는 타이틀이 있어야만 그다음에 그 제빵 사업을 시작할 수 있다고 합니다. 독일에서 뭐 그런 규정이 있는 모양이에요. 그런데 저니맨 기간 동안에 말 그대로 저니가 여행을 하는 거잖아요. 그래서 한 곳에만 있으면 안 되고 이제 미카 씨 같은 경우에는 런던도 가고 and then where else did you say you went? America?
Yeah, to
America.
in a place near New York.
New York. Okay, wow. How was the bread different or the bakery different?
Yeah, it
in
was
these different places?
everything was a different experience. You know,
Yeah.
that's why maybe also I gained a lot of different things. I work in restaurants mostly, not only bakeries. So I didn't see only the bread side, but I gained more experience with food and.
Yeah. And they complement each other, obviously.
Sure.
아, 그렇군요. 저니맨 시절 동안에 그러니까 apprenticeship을 하고 있을 때 레스토랑에서 주로 근무를 많이 하셨다고 합니다. 그런데 나라마다 먹는 음식도 다르고 또 특히 빵이 많이 다르고 그러지만 또 레스토랑에서 경험을 통해 다른 음식과 이렇게 어우러져서 어떻게 조화를 이룰까 이런 경험을 많이 했다라는 설명까지 해주셨습니다. Of course, your journey then led you to become a pastry chef at a hotel, right?
Yeah, that eventually I did that. It was
Yeah.
my dream to work in a hotel. When I saw the plates with the desserts and all
Yeah.
the decorations, I thought I really like to do that. So that's how I ended up in a hotel,
Yeah.
and then in a chain, and then eventually.
Now you're here in Korea.
That's the way it goes.
굉장히 별거 아닌 것처럼 얘기를 하시는데요. 그냥 뭐 한 5년 정도 뭐 여기저기서 뭐 교육받고 그 다음에는 호텔에서 일하고 꿈이었다 이런 얘기까지 해주셨습니다. 호텔에서 이제 페이스트리 셰프를 하는 게 굉장히 또 아름다운 일이고 또 본인에게 잘 맞는 적성에 맞는 일이라고 느껴서 그 목표를 두고 그동안에 많이 연구를 하고 공부를 하셨는데 드디어 꿈을 이루게 된 얘기까지 하셨습니다. Well, we'll take a short song break at this point, and when we come back, we'll talk more about your journey. This is Bruce Springsteen, and it's a request by yourself. Is this one of your favorite songs?
Like the song because I used to work there, you know.
아, 뉴욕시티에서 일했던 시절이 기억난다고 하네요. This is New York City Serenade. You're listening to Morning Date, and we have a chef in the studio with us this morning. Chef of German baked goods and cuisine, Micha Richter. Is my pronunciation improving?
Excellent.
Your Germanness is rubbing off. So now that we heard a little bit about your history, let's talk about your current, where you are right now, and also your food, of course. 서울에서 베를린의 추억을 먹고 싶다, 느끼고 싶다 하시면은요, 3대째 제빵 마이스터인 미슐랭 베이커리 겸 또 캐주얼 다이닝 식당이 손에 꼽힐 텐데요. You are the current owner of The Baker's Table.
That's right.
So tell us about this well-known establishment, of course. Can you tell us what you serve there, first of all?
Yeah, we serve European German-style bread and foods. So
Yeah.
the food is more on the German side.
Of course.
And the bread, a little bit more on the European. We have some Italian-style bread. But our most of the breads are German.
Yeah.
Rye breads, a little bit more heavy and dark, healthy bread. as
Healthy
they say.
bread, yeah. 건강한 빵, 독일식 빵을 위주로 한 빵, 그리고 또 그 캐주얼 다이닝이 가능한 그런 레스토랑이다 이렇게 말씀을 해주셨는데요. What are some of your most popular items or menus, or I suppose foods on your menu?
When it comes to the food, we do a lot of sausages, yeah.
Yeah.
German style Bratwurst,
Yeah,
which
delicious.
is my own recipe that somebody helps to make it because the amount we make now, I cannot make it myself anymore.
Yeah,
you know.
wow.
So I have my ingredients ready for him, and he has the facilities to make it. you know.
Yeah.
So the Bratwurst, I think, is also really authentic
Sure.
when it comes to taste. Yeah. We do a lot of that. On the bread thing, there's so much variety. I cannot say which one is the best. Just the darker breads are really popular
Really?
because people, I think, also get the hang of to be a little bit more healthy.
Yeah, of course.
And definitely, dark bread is more healthy than white stuff. So
Do you
a
have a
lot of
personal favorite?
no, that's different every day.
Every day. Of course. 뭐 어떤 게 제일 인기가 좋은 그런 음식인가요? 라고 제가 물어봤더니 뭐 빵 같은 경우에는 좀 이게 진한 색에 좀 더 건강하다라고 하는 그런 빵들이 요즘에 인기가 굉장히 많고 그 다음에 사실 독일 하면은 그 브라우트허스트 소세지가 더 굉장히 유명하잖아요. 그런데 미카 릭터 씨만의 그런 소세지가 있다고 합니다. 처음에는 혼자만 만들었었는데 비법이 있기 때문에 그런데 도저히 혼자 만들어가지고는 이 수요를 감당할 수가 없어서 그래서 이제는 같이 조수를 두고 만든다 이런 얘기까지 해주셨습니다. 그 이제 뭐 색깔이 진한 빵 그러면 사실 곡물빵을 얘기하죠. 호밀빵이라든지 뭐 여러 가지 밀이 들어간 빵 등이 되겠습니다. So when did you first open?
We opened it 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
2011.
11, right. What was the most difficult thing about starting your own business here?
Yeah, at that time, I think the most difficult thing was the thought if it's going to succeed or not, because it was, I came back to my roots. I used to do a little bit different work before,
Yeah.
and I came back to wear my clothes, my chef's jacket, and actually make bread. So that was the first thing that I was worried about, if Korean people would accept what I have on offer. But
And the verdict has been they love it.
it was great.
Yeah.
We had some people who came in who had some relation with Germany before. And I was really happy to see that.
Sure, of course. 2011년에 처음 이제 문을 열었을 때 과연 성공을 할 수 있을까? 한국인들의 입맛에 이 독일 빵이 뭐 어떨까? 그런 고민을 참 많이 하셨다고 하는데요. 8년이 지난 지금 뭐 인기가 너무 많아서 고민이다. 그다음에 이제 독일과 뭐 연관된 일을 한다든지 독일을 다녀오신 분들이 특히 더 좋아하신다라는 말씀을 해주셨습니다. So how does your day start? We briefly talked about how early your day starts most days, but what's a typical day like for you?
We start in the bakery at 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
so you have to get up a little bit earlier than 5, you know,
Sure.
to get there.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of guys in the bakery. We do the baking thing first, and we open our doors at 8 o'clock. Yeah, a lot of people come in for breakfast, so
Yeah.
they appreciate the fresh bread in the morning. Maybe some soup on the side. It's
Yeah.
very popular.
Of course.
So that becomes into the lunch business. Yeah. After lunch, we do a lot of preparations
For dinner.
for the next day, for dinner.
for the next day as
We
well,
do have a
yeah.
lot of bread also that we prepare for the next day. That's a long fermented dough.
How long does it normally take to ferment the dough and make the bread?
The special ones we do, that's about 12 hours.
와우, 그렇군요. 보통 이제 어떻게 하루를 보내시는지 물어봤더니 아침에 대개 한 5시 정도까지 출근을 하고 그 다음에는 그때부터 열심히 빵을 만들어서 8시에 문을 열고요. 아침부터 조식 서빙을 하고 또 이제 나중에 중식 서빙을 하고 그래서 런치 게스트도 굉장히 많으시겠죠. 그러고 나서는 이제 한 12시간 걸리는 빵들을 그때부터 열심히 만들기 시작한다 이런 얘기를 해주셨습니다. I mean, it sounds like you don't get too much time to take a break. It sounds like a really jam-packed day.
Oh, I find my time, I run away, don't
Yeah,
worry.
do you? And you, of course, have a nice hobby. I talked about how you got here on your motorcycle earlier on. Before you
If I
came
have a
here.
chance, I really
Yeah,
like to
I love
take the
that.
bike and go for a ride.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful country once you leave the city, so there's a lot of things to see.
I think we'll talk a little bit about your hobbies and what you do in your spare time in just a bit. But I mean, where do you get your ingredients for your German bread? Because we are in Korea right now.
Actually, right now it's not too bad. Some companies import German flour even, you know. So my rye flour is from Germany.
Yeah.
And you can find ingredients if you go on the market and do something with it. You know, I think that's one thing of becoming a master of what you do.
Yes.
You can play around a little bit
Yeah.
to find something to get to a good result. You know, also with different ingredients. That's also one challenge of doing a job like that.
Right.
Being a baker is really different every day. The temperatures are different. The flours, the ingredients are very different.
Yeah.
So that plays in a role in the end product later.
Wow.
on, yeah.
Can you use Korean ingredients to make German bread? Would that be very difficult?
Yeah, well, I'll use some seeds that
Yeah,
are available
some,
in Korea
okay.
to make some healthy bread, you know, like with a lot of grains inside. yeah.
Yes.
But I think the flour that you have in Korea mostly is imported, you know,
I
and
see,
it's
I
of a
see.
very good quality.
그렇군요. 근데 대체적으로는 이제 독일 빵을 만들기 위해선 독일 식재료를 쓴다라는 설명을 간단하게 해주셨습니다. Do you like Korean style baked goods? Because I think Korean bread is quite different to German bread, isn't it?
Well, I think it's very different.
Very
yeah.
different,
It's,
yeah.
They use a lot of sugar in there.
Yeah.
You know. It's good when you go out and you have a few too many, you know, that you eat a sweet bread with a sausage in and some ketchup and mayonnaise on top, you know. So
Okay.
maybe it's a survival food, you know.
그렇군요. 한국 빵이 또 어떻게 독일 빵과 다른지 여쭸더니 한국 빵은 대체로 미카엘 리크터 씨가 보시기에는 굉장히 달다. 그리고 아주 급할 때 먹기에 좋다 이런 설명을 해주셨습니다. 아무래도 이제 식감도 좀 다를 수 있고요, 맛도 다를 수 있겠습니다. I read a CNN travel article last year called "Why German Bread is the Best in the World," and it was a very lengthy article about how people think bread, France, but actually German bread is the best in the world. But I have to also add that the writer of this article was German, but they were saying, you know, this is why German bread is above all else. And it listed the different types of breads in Germany and what goes into the bread and how it's healthy and things like that. What's your take on that?
I think if you say in Germany, you think about bread and you think about France, you won't survive much longer. You have to accredit the French. The baguette in France is beautiful. That's there's no doubt. The white stuff, they know what they're doing over there. The Germans on the healthy, on the dark side, they also know what they do, and I think that's why the bread is the best also. So many different regions in Germany produce so many different kinds of bread. It's the same like so many different kinds of beers. Everybody had their own tradition in making stuff.
Yeah.
So there's so much variety. And it's still from a very old tradition, the bread. And the way people used to make it in the old days is to make it natural, to keep it very long time. And there's only good ingredients inside. If you come to a traditional bakery.
그렇군요.
So I think that also one reason that makes that the best bread.
독일에서 빵은 프랑스가 제일 좋다라는 생각으로 살면 안 된다 이런 얘기를 해주셨습니다. 독일 빵이 가장 우수하다라고 설명을 해주셨는데요. 그 CNN 기사에도 뭐 그 독일 기자가 이제 독일 빵의 우수성에 대해서 쓴 아주 긴 기사가 있어서 제가 궁금해서 한번 여쭙습니다. 어떻게 생각하세요? 했더니 동의한다. 근데 이제 사실 프랑스 빵은 굉장히 예쁘다. 그리고 이제 어떻게 보면은 곡물빵이 아니기 때문에 그런 하얀 빵으로서는 뭐 굉장히 우수성이 있고 일단 제일 중요한 것은 굉장히 아름답고 그렇지만 독일에서는 훨씬 건강에 초점을 맞춘 뭐 그런 측면이 있기 때문에 그런 면에서 봤을 때는 최고다 이렇게 설명을 해주셨습니다. Alright, well we'll talk more about the best bread in the world, German bread, and your bakery, of course. This is our morning date with Micha Richter. We'll take another short song break, and this time we have the Real Group with Substitute for Life. On Morning Special, our date today is with German baker, chef, and business owner, Mr. Misha Richter, I should say. So let's talk more about baking. Now, I hear people bake to relax. What does a baker do to relax?
Yeah, not bake.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
If I have a chance to relax, I take my bike and leave the city.
Yeah, wow.
Traveling around in the Korean countryside, especially now, these days, it's beautiful. The colors are changing outside.
Yeah. You mentioned that it took you about an hour on your motorbike getting to our Ilsan studio this
that's
morning. And I said, an hour on a motorbike? And you said, that's nothing really. So you've driven your bike for longer periods of time?
It takes you generally 1 hour to get out of the city also.
I would imagine. Wow. And you must love it because
And
you've been riding it
I love
from...
to go to the East Coast, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's gonna take you then about, depends where you go, small road. I did not long ago 6 hours to go to Sokcho.
Oh my goodness. 와, 베이킹을 하지 않을 때는 취미로 뭐 하세요? 라는 질문에 이제 보통 오토바이를 탄다 이런 얘기를 해주셨는데요. 오늘 우리 일산 스튜디오에 오실 때도 한 1시간 정도 오토바이를 타고 오셨다고 하셔서 제가 1시간이나요? 그랬더니 그건 아무것도 아니다. 속초 갈 땐 한 6시간 타고 간다. 이런 얘기를 하셨어요. 힘드실 것 같은데. Where do you get all your stamina? Is it from your German bread?
Must be.
Must be, yeah, exactly. All right. Well, what is a tasty, sweet baked good that you offer and you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, one thing I do that my grandfather did and my father did, it's a really simple cake. It's called butter cake.
Butter cake.
So
Okay.
it's a yeast dough with just some butter on top and then some sugar. It's very simple,
Yeah.
but it's really nice.
Often the simplest things are the most
Right,
yummiest
right.
things. I love that.
And that's, like I said, that's been in my family.
Passed down from generation to
Yeah.
generation.
It's been there for a while.
Yeah. And so can we get this at your shop now? Is it
I
there?
hope they're sold out by now. But,
그렇군요. 대대로 이어져 온 버터 케이크가 이제 어떤 대표적인 달콤한 빵이다라고 얘기를 해주셨는데요. 심플하면서도 또 굉장히 맛있는 빵이라고 해서 저도 먹어보고 싶네요. It sounds delicious. I would love to have one of these. Maybe I'll go and drop by
I should have brought you
one
some.
day. Do you have any gluten-free alternatives? That seems to be a trend these days.
Gluten-free, I don't do that.
Yeah, okay.
There are some people who have problem with gluten, you know. So I read an article lately also. We do a lot of doughs that are long fermented.
Yeah.
So they stay, like I said before, like 12 hours overnight. So the ingredients of the flour have a lot of time to develop into something else. Yeah?
Yes.
And I read this article, and they say if somebody is gluten intolerant, if they don't have a disease, that's different. That's a different thing. But if they're just a little bit gluten intolerant, they cannot take it too much. A long fermented dough will be much better on them.
그렇군요. 그러니까 아주 오랜 시간, 한 12시간 정도 발효를 한 그런 빵이 있기 때문에 혹시 뭐 그 글루텐 때문에 빵을 잘 못 먹는다 하시는 분들도 쉽게 먹을 수 있는 건강한 대안이 된다고 합니다. What would you say is the most difficult part and also the most enjoyable thing about baking? So two questions there. What's the most difficult thing about baking for you?
Yeah, that everything is different every day. The ingredients are different, the temperatures are different. Yeah, the humidity is very different, especially in Korea. And you have really hot summers, wet summers. In winter, it gets really dry.
Is it easier to bake in summer or winter?
Oh, that's both difficult
Both
parts.
difficult. Okay. I
Because the summer is really hot,
Humid, yeah.
so you have to see that you don't put maybe too much yeast, that the dough doesn't rise too fast. Wintertime, everything is cold, so you got to see that you have some warm your ingredients, warm the water that you use to make the dough do what you want it to do.
And then what's the most enjoyable thing about baking for you?
Well, have a nice full table of bread in the morning in the baker's table, and people come in, take pictures, and say, "Wow, that's that's."
Really fulfilling, I would
Yeah, that's
imagine.
nice. Yeah, that's not just the business part. That
Is that what
that
keeps
feels
you
good.
going? 그렇군요. 베이킹의 가장 어려운 점은 매일매일 다른 환경 속에서 베이킹을 해야 된다는 거. 온도, 습도에 따라서 어떤 재료를 몇 그램을 더 넣을 것이냐 뺄 것이냐가 좌우가 되기 때문에 특히나 이렇게 사계절이 뚜렷한 나라에서 살다 보니 그냥 하루하루가 항상 뭐 그런 점에서는 좀 힘들다. 하지만 내가 만든 빵을 누군가가 먹고 맛있다, 사진을 찍고 예쁘다 이런 말을 하면은 또 그만큼 너무너무 보람이 있다라는 얘기를 해주셨습니다. If you weren't a baker, Mika, what do you think you would have been?
A rock and roll star.
Really? Yeah, I can see you doing. I can see that happening. Yeah, I mean,
Basically,
I
I have not really an idea. One thing about my job, sometimes I also think the work was a lot all my life.
Yes.
But it gave me some nice opportunity to travel and see many different countries. And I always felt I'm on a working holiday. In a way.
like that,
Of course, you work long hours, but in a way, it feels still exotic. And you can try something, you can be creative. You take some ingredients and you make something totally new out of it. And who can do that? Not many people. So
네.
that's a fun part about this.
Yeah, I love that that idea you have, the philosophy behind it. 만약에 베이커가 되지 않았다면은 나는 록스타가 될 것이야. 뭐 이런 얘기를 해주셨는데요. 사실은 뭐 베이커가 되는 것 외에는 다른 직장을 그렇게 생각해 본 적이 없다라는 얘기를 하셨어요. 워낙 어렸을 때부터 아버지와 할아버지가 이렇게 베이킹하는 모습을 보고 자랐고 또 그게 또 자연스러웠기 때문인데 그런가 하면은 이게 또 무료하고 지루해질 수도 있어서 항상 나는 휴가 중이다라는 생각으로 근무를 하신대요. 그리고 이렇게 베이킹을 했기 때문에 지금 어떻게 보면 타지 생활이죠. 한국에서도 살고 계시고 또 다른 나라도 많이 다녀보셨고 늘 그냥 여행 중이고 휴가 중이다라는 생각으로 일을 한다. 그래서 워킹 홀리데이 중이라는 그런 마인드로 일을 하신다고 하셨는데 굉장히 멋지신 것 같습니다. I mean, how many years has it been since you've been baking? Decades. And you're on this decades-long working holiday.
Yeah, almost 40 years, since I started my career.
Well, if you think of it as a holiday, though, I mean, that's a nice
long holiday.
a very long holiday.
Yeah, look on the bright side. Huh?
Now, if you could only have one food for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's a very, very nasty question.
It is a nasty question.
So I've been trying to find a solution to that. I think fried rice would be the thing to say.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say bread.
No, I really like Asian food, so fried rice, there's a lot of different varieties of fried rice, so I think I should go with that one.
베이커인 미카 릭타 씨에게 만약에 세상에 딱 한 종류의 음식만 먹을 수 있다라고 하면 뭘 드시겠어요? 라고 했더니 볶음밥. 빵이 아니었네요. 알겠습니다. I love that answer. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning, Micha.
Thank you for having
I
me.
know you're
sir.
so busy, but thank you for making the time to be
All right.
here.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure.